In today's video, we are going to discuss the second of the two dangerous yet overlooked killers of marriage.
We had talked about the first in our previous video. This second marriage killer is more recognized than the first. However, many people downplay its severity in wrecking marriages. In fact, nowadays it's being encouraged in marriage and tried to be pushed as normal.
If you are yet to watch the first video, you can do so after this, as the link will be in the description.
The second is selfishness. Selfishness is the quality or state of being selfish. And being selfish is lacking consideration for other people or concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure.
Everyone is selfish. The difference is that some are more or less selfish than others.
For example, if you are being given the option of choosing between helping either your husband, wife, family members, friends, and choosing to help other people that are not related to you at all, we know the answer.
However, the selfishness we're talking about here is based on the definition when you feel like you deserve more than your spouse.
Yeah, because we're talking about marriage.
Yes.
This usually starts from you feeling and believing that you always deserve more than everybody else, even when it is not so. But just on the basis of it being you already deserve it.
You can even go out of your way just to get what you want at the expense of others.
So one thing to note is that selfishness is inborn, while selflessness has to be learned. And this means that if you see someone that is either less selfish or selfless, that person had worked on him or herself. It doesn't come automatically. No. And selfish people usually become selfish husbands, wives, parents, in-laws, and friends.
Selfish people are not fair people
at all. We're not talking about fair of complexion. No. So this is how selfishness affects marriage. We start from dating or courtship. You find selfish people manifest themselves in even phone calls.
Yes. If it is their credit, they will call you highest 1 minute or even 30 seconds, or they will even flash you.
Yes, they will only flash you. But when it's your own credit, they want to gist. On your own credit, they will gist for a long time. On their own credit, na lie. I mean, they have credit too, but
you are not worth it.
Yeah.
Another way to spot those people is only one person visits.
And it's usually the other person, not the selfish person that visits.
Yes.
They will ask you to always come to their house.
Yes. And they always have excuses as to why they are not visiting you.
Some don't even give you an excuse at all. They just believe that you are coming to their house. You are the one that should be stressing it and be coming over.
Yes, you are the one that needs to fight for the relationship.
I'm telling you. Even when they go on dates, you might discover that they don't even pay for anything at all. You might even pay for their transportation, not even paying for the food and the rest. And such people, it's not that they lack, but they just don't want to spend their money. They think your money is what it's meant to be spent. These people usually have that mentality of your money is our money, but my money is my money. Sorry, I don't want to sound like one kind of these things. Women that usually have that kind of trait, although there are men that are like that. Yeah. Nowadays there are many men that are becoming like that. They are eyeing women's money, but it's just sad. It's really sad. Now we move to how selfishness affects marriage itself. The first is that selfish people usually have the wrong choice or reason to marry.
Such people marry based on their own terms, and that's a wrong reason to begin with.
Yes.
They don't give room for the other person to make a decision about settling down with them.
Yeah, and marriage is supposed to be based on choice. I remember when we got married, one of the vows we took was that I choose you. And when there's no option, then there's no choice. As you just block someone, you corner someone, you don't give the person the choice. And marriage is supposed to be based on choice. It's not one person's decision. It has to be the two people that will agree to stay with each other.
Some go as far as using juju, lies, blackmail, pregnancy to marry such people.
Their drive towards marriage is based on their personal ambition, and you find such people marrying certain people or marrying into certain families for either fame, green card, money, or some particular status like that. Some might even, and this one usually happens more commonly with men, they marry ladies that they can easily subdue. A woman that is uneducated, that they can just easily subdue her and make her to stay at home and be cooking and not doing anything at all. That's the kind of person they want to marry.
Oh, yeah. Way younger woman.
Yes, that they can just become their uncle husband. And from what we've said, if the choice is wrong or the motive for getting married is wrong, that means the foundation is already wrong.
And that's because marriage is supposed to be built on love. And based on 1 Corinthians 12, love is not selfish.
Yes, it's not self-seeking.
Yes.
So if the foundation is already wrong, no matter what you build, it's going to crash. For the wedding itself, you find out that such people, even in the wedding preparation, they want everything to go their own way based on what they want. I want the wedding on so day. I want it to happen in so place. I want this kind of wedding. You have to bring this person to be the MC, the DJ, this particular hall, even at the expense of their spouse. They know that maybe their spouse does not want that, or the spouse cannot afford that. They will insist that they do that. And it's already shown that the wedding ceremony on its own affects marriage eventually.
Now we're going to move to how selfishness affects marriage proper. Marriage is built and sustained by selflessness.
Yes.
So what marriage does is it makes you more selfless,
Yeah.
because the demand is that you give yourselves to each other.
Yeah, an ideal marriage should be able to change you to a less selfish person, eventually to even a selfless person. That's what people that understand the demands of marriage. So you find that some men believe that because they are breadwinners, they deserve more than the women, and some women, because they are beautiful or they have shape, they deserve more from the marriage than the men do.
Or because you are more successful or you come from a rich background, then you automatically feel like you deserve more than your partner, which is very wrong. Because in marriage, there's no family member that's more important than the other.
Yes, the husband is not more important than the wife, or vice versa, and the children are not more important than the parents too. The firstborn is not more important than the secondborn. The boy is not more important than the girl, or the girl more important than the boy. Everybody has to know how to treat each person equally, irrespective of their age, their gender, and their status. And you see, marriage starts with the husband and the wife, and it's all about the two of them working together to build each other, and they do so selflessly in love. Then eventually, as the children come, they even find themselves sacrificing their lives to be able to raise the children properly, because these children are the ones that continue you, in quotes. So even the progress in your career is to ensure that your family is making progress. The progress is not personal, it's for the entire family. So whether you choose to advance your career, or some find themselves stop their career, especially women that just stop everything to become housewives so that they'll be able to take care of their children. So even live to something less demanding. They might be professionals and they go into something else that will be less demanding so that they have more time for their children. These are things that selflessness helps you to be able to execute. A selfish person would not do that. A selfish person puts him or herself first. We should also note that one of the major functions of marriage is to be able to raise children that are going to benefit the society. And raising such children goes beyond giving them money or carrying them to school. You have to be able to teach them to be better people, and you cannot give what you don't have.
Yes, if you're a selfish person, there's no how you can be able to transfer that particular quality to your children, right?
Yeah, at all.
Because you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah. So you end up having children that they are going to selfishly grow and selfishly raise their families. So I remember something my mom used to tell me then, that if we end up marrying happily, then they are going to be happy. But if we end up not marrying well, they are going to be affected too. So there's no way you are going to be okay when your children are going through crisis in marriage, especially when you are going through your own. And we should understand that family is the unit of the society. So you can actually judge a society by the kind of families that it's being made up of.
So the better the families, the better the society, right?
Exactly. As we are done in the first video, we'll also come up with some solutions to curtail this. And the first step towards solving this issue is that you have to identify, accept, and work on this problem, which is quite difficult to do.
Yes, also please seek professional help. Talk to counselors, people that can help you solve this problem.
Then one thing to note is that you cannot be a Christian, someone that believes in God and is obeying God, and then you will be selfish. There's no way that happens, especially if you have the Holy Spirit in you. Then another thing you have to understand is that there are various passages in the Bible that talk about selflessness, like
Lastly, ask God for help. He can help you, and God answers prayers. So please ask God to help you. Less yielding to your flesh and more yielding to the Spirit
of God. Yeah. And there's no way you can have the Spirit of God manifest in you and then you remain a selfish person. God needs your marriage to succeed. That's all.
That's all for today's video.
Yeah.
Like this video, subscribe if you're yet to, also share our content with people you think might find it helpful. See you on our next video.
Bye.